Comic-Con 2012 here with Bryan, Kaiser, Tillman, and the Kaiser is actually you, but it's also a card in your game.
Yes, actually it's a character in my game. He's the main character of the game Dark Legacy: The Rising, and he's the main bad guy. So so far everyone's opposing him is what I found out with all the players who played the game so far.
And here's the playing mats and the game, and you're gonna be releasing this at.
We're going to be releasing it at Gen Con 2012, so that's August 15th. 16th, sorry, August 16th, 2012.
Okay, obviously in Indianapolis.
Yep.
And how much will it retail for?
Retail price is going to be $15, 60 card deck, plus a mat, rulebook, and character sheet.
Okay, and will you still have some of your business cards which actually give you another card?
Yes, actually I will. I'll have my business card, and that's, people have told me that it needs to be in the game. We'll see.
No, I really, that's a great marketing idea and so on. So, do you actually have one of your cards with you?
I do not.
Okay, I have one.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I have them shipped to me, so they're sitting at home waiting for me, so they're ready for Gen Con.
But it's your image?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you did all the card art as well yourself, or not?
I did 70% of the final product. For the demos, I did all the work, but I did about 70% of all the artwork for the game, but I made it from the ground up, did the story, did the rules, did the design, and then I had a couple friends help me out at the end, try and round it out.
Okay, so how does the game play?
Well, it's a mix between Magic the Gathering, Dungeons & Dragons, and chess, and it plays as though you were playing Magic. Okay, so you have cards that you can cast that have hit points, you know, it has casting points that you need, but what makes the game really different is that you, the player, actually get to be part of the game. So you get to choose your own weapons, choose your own armor, relics to help you, magic that helps you specifically, as well as casting creature cards, magic, relics that'll help the entire army that you have. So it's a game that brings you in to the game. But the main difference in the way that it's played is with the D20. Every time it's your turn, you have to choose whether you're going to cast or whether you're going to attack. If you cast, you roll the D20, and that's the casting points that you have, and you can cast as many cards as you have casting points for.
So potentially 20 cards?
20 cards if you have them, yeah.
Okay.
But the casting ranges between, you know, anywhere from 1 casting point to 20 casting points. Okay. So depending on the strength and skill level of the card, depends on how many you can actually bring out.
How long has this game been in development?
3 years now. It's been 3 full years since its development.
And where did you get the idea for it?
I used to be an avid Magic player, and there are things about Magic that I didn't like, and one of the big ones was, you know, if you don't have the big number cards, if you're not, you know, putting out the money, you're pretty much going to lose a game. And so I wanted to make a game that had an even playing field. And with the D20, that really levels out the playing field, and you have to think about what you're going to do before you do it. It's where the strategic aspect of it comes in, because if you roll bad, you have to be prepared for the other person to roll good. And so you have to have your defense ready to go. You have to have a strategy just in case that happens. And that's what makes this game unique, is that you have to really think, just like in chess, 4 or 5 steps ahead of your opponent, so that you can try and make sure that the game is going to end up in your favor.
Where are you from?
I'm currently residing in Alexandria, Virginia, but I hail from Germany.
Okay.
Yep. I know it doesn't show with the afro, but yeah, I am German.
Where did you get your start in gaming?
Well, with the gaming industry, I've done concept designs for games, online games and board games. It happened in 2007 is when I did that, and I did concept design and then game design just on my own. So I've done a lot of game designs and kind of pitched those around. But the start came from the concept design for online video games and a couple board games.
Okay. And now with Dark Legacy, you said it was $15?
Yes.
What do you get for that $15?
For the $15, you can either choose one of the starting decks, which has 2 factions, levels 1 through 5, or you can get a random deck, which has 60 cards in it. The starter deck also has 60 cards in it. It comes with a mat, a rule book, and a character sheet. Okay. And within the random deck, you get the 4 rares. You get instantly 4 rares with the ability to get an uber rare, which is only printed 100 per print run per card, so they're kind of rare, and so those are in there. You have uncommons. It's actually broke down a little bit better, so it's like 25 commons, 25 uncommons, and then you actually get 10 rares. So I'm trying to give it so that you have a couple more rare cards in there, unlike some other cards.
So we were just talking about the fact that it is a small in-house production.
Yeah.
So I think at Gen Con you said you'll be bringing 250 decks of one sort. And
I'm bringing 250 copies of 6 starter decks, and then there's a random deck, which is a whole bunch of random cards for the collectors who really want to collect it. There's going to be 250 copies of that, and then we'll probably have roughly around 300 packs of expansion cards.
So to answer the question of how you go about randomizing it, you do it physically?
I physically do it in my house, at home. I have a system already laid out, and then it's just, I take those cards and I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a very small production. I'm probably going to have 2 or 3 people helping me out, you know, randomizing it, but it's all done in-house.
And it's all set to go for Gen Con?
All set to go for Gen Con. I actually even have some super exclusives for Gen Con specifically. It's going to be faction-specific cards, so you get all the cards that are for each faction, and then you'll also get some exclusive weapons and relics that go with it. And then with that, you get all your cards in plastic, you get the color of the dice that goes to the faction, and counters as well.
And there's 6 different factions?
6 different factions, yeah.
Can you briefly describe them?
Sure. The 6 different factions are Chaos, Darkness, Holy Order, Earth, Wind, and Tech. So Chaos is what you would think. It's fire, lightning, and anything that goes boom. The Darkness is everything that's dead, so all my undead creatures. The Holy Order is what the clerics and the healers. Earth is all my big creatures. Wind is everything that flies, and Tech is robots, robots, and robots.
Okay, so you have a fusion world where you're blending a lot of different things,
yep.
But it is called Dark Legacy.
Dark Legacy: The Rising. Yep. There's something for everybody. So we got swords and sorcery, guns, tanks, behemoths, monsters, skeletons. Everything that you could possibly want is probably already in the game.
Okay, and you said it's something about a character sheet.
Yeah. So the idea behind the character sheet, like I mentioned, it's you want to make sure that you want to make yourself into the character, and so the character sheet is just there to make sure that you have the experience points documented. I'm actually working on an app for Android and iPhones so that you can keep it digitally instead of writing it all down on paper.
So it plays a little bit like an RPG.
Yep.
You don't care about, if Mace Windu has one lightsaber.
Okay. Just a little bit.
Great. Well, thank you.
Yep.
So having just played a game with you for a little bit with no definitive winner, and I have to say I was winning. And what's your favorite faction so far of the 6?
Chaos, absolutely. Fire, lightning, and ninjas. I mean, that's just the way I grew up. Blow stuff up and have a ninja do it too.
And then what about your favorite card out of the whole game?
Favorite card is not actually here for you to view. It'll be released at Gen Con, and what it's called is Roll Switch. It is one of the meanest cards I think that is in the official game, and what that does is we would actually switch spaces. So I would get all your cards, your hero, your deck, your everything, and I have 2 turns to beat you. Otherwise the game's over and you win. But the reason why that card is so powerful is if I'm losing drastically and it doesn't look like I'll ever win, I can play that card and then try and beat you.
What faction is it for?
It's general card, so everyone can use it.
Okay, so we have a kind of a 7th faction, a general pool. So what are some of those as well?
There are a couple creatures. You have an ancient golem. There's a lot of magic spells. There's a counter spell. There's a heal spell, a poison spell.
A dispel? A
dispel, yep. And then there's a lot of these rare cards like Roll Switch. There's also one called the Dip Watch, which allows you to just start the game over. It's one of the uber rares, so not everyone's going to have it, but the card itself allows you to start the game over, just in case you've been royally getting your butt handed to you.
For the Roll Switch, what's its cost?
16.
So it's pretty high.
Oh, it's pretty high, and the skill level is pretty high too.
What's an example of a spell that costs 20?
A spell that costs 20 is the Holy Guardian. The Holy Guardian is a Holy Order card, and it is a 2018, and it costs 20 to cast, and you have to be a level 19 to actually get it out.
So you mentioned levels earlier. On the cards, the level is this number that's pretty tiny here, which limits who can play it, right?
Yep. Yeah, so the idea behind it is that you would start off as a level 1, and as you played and you won games, you would get experience points. Even if you lost games, you'd still get some experience points. It wouldn't be much, but you'd get some. And so the more you played, you'd level up, and then you get better cards, better armor, better weapon, better creatures. And, excuse me, the idea behind it is just to get you more involved in the game.